the ones that came later in my life, yeah. I appreciate all the blessings God has given me, and I want to repay it to you like this. Clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Introducing. This is the joint where we give shout outs to all the peeps, you know what I'm saying? You know we couldn't do this joint without spreading some love to the
it was a time when we used to meet evil on the battlefield, and guess what we did to it? We killed it. We didn't quibble about it. We didn't argue about it. We didn't fight about it. We killed it. When the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, what did we do? We flew to Japan.
What's up, Donnie?
And we killed the Japanese Army and Navy. We didn't even quibble about it. I didn't start this fight. You did.
All right. So North Carolina Lieutenant Governor and current GOP governor.
I think, I'm amazed. The more I look into this, I'm amazed. For me, this is very strange because, yeah, what's up, Donnie? Chilling, man. I mean, I'm just discovering this. I didn't know a damn thing about this dude, but just looking into it briefly, he has a wiki, right? Where it shows his, as a matter of fact, let me just pull it up right now. He has a wiki where it shows his background or part history, it's wiki. So, you have to know that maybe sometimes there can be some info that's not exactly right, but it gets corrected when people update it, especially with stuff like this. But in any way, look, it says here, Mark Keith Robinson is an American politician who has served as the 35th Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina since 2021, a member of the Republican Party. He is the first African American to hold the office of Lieutenant Governor in North Carolina. He is the Republican nominee for governor of North Carolina in 2024 election, which might explain where some of the, comments come from. In my view, comments like this, they always work when you don't have much going for yourself, right? To make a comment as wild as some of the comments that he's making, it's kind of like what people do somewhat. What they say people do in social media to get hits, to get views, right? The more shocking the comments, the more people see you. And, I guess they call it trolling, right? Is that what they call it? I mean, I myself, I don't use, I'm starting to learn that that's a factor, shocking comments, you might get views, things like that, but I don't go to this extent at all. I would never go to this extent at all to get no views. So if it's trolling, I don't know. But political trolling, I don't know. But anyway, let's read on, man. This is this man, Mark Robinson. He said this stuff, but he's saying a whole lot of crazy stuff, bro. And now I'm reading his history, and it's not a surprise, these comments, but here, this is another, I would call this Black MAGA, right? Myself. Now, again, I'm not the person, because there are trolls, I'm not the person that believes that. I don't take people's word. You see what I'm saying? I take people's action. Because, again, you could say whatever you want to say. Where's the proof? You have to prove it. You see what I'm saying? You have to prove what you stand for, who you are, that you stand behind your words. Remember, it's not a thing in the past where you say you respect a man by what he say. No, not that. I respect a man by what he says and what he does. Both things, and woman. Do you keep your word? Do you stand on what you say? And when I look at this, I have to say I'm seeing a little bit of I don't believe it. But what the what the yo, bro? Yo, man. Hold on. Let me just go back. Let me read some more of this. This is too much. Um, he's a Republican nominee, right? You said that. Okay. Robinson defeated Democrat nominee Yvonne Lewis Holly in 2020. Okay. Now let's go here. He was Robinson has promoted uh, various far right conspiracy theories, engaged in Holocaust denial sexual assault allegations. Oh, he denied sexual assault allegations against various prominent figures. Okay, so he doesn't believe some of the allegations, and I bet you they're all Republican. The one he don't believe. The Democrat, he probably believe it though. You know what I'm saying? No problem. I believe that conspiracy theory. I believe that. That man did that, you know? He's part of this. He's part of that. But when it comes to Republicans, I'm just guessing here. It doesn't say that, but why do a man deny somebody else's allegations, for harassment? That I will sexual assault or harassment. I will never understand that. But I say let the person accused speak. But in any case, and is often made inflammatory, anti-LGBT, anti-Semitist, racist, anti-atheist. Oh, he gonna have a problem there. And Islamophobic statements. See, this is where we go wrong, man. We don't see the beauty in letting people be, man. And I'm not saying we as in black folk. I'm just saying Americans, man. People that should understand that, people um, that didn't have the right to be who they were. Now we're turning around, telling somebody else they don't have the right to be who they are. I mean, can you imagine that? You weren't allowed your name, you weren't allowed your religion, right? You weren't allowed your nothing. You're free. Nothing. You were the ultimate. You were the person most denied all freedom of choice, and yet you're anti-freedom of choice. I will never understand this, brother. I will never understand this. And I'm not saying freedom of choice means I choose to do all types of things. No, I'm pretty conservative myself. I'm very conservative. But I'm also not a hypocrite. You see what I mean? I'm not going to go out there and pretend that I'm the ultra conservative on earth and that man, I don't know what the hell's going on, Donnie. Wasn't allowed to think or learn, bro. And look, wasn't allowed to think or learn. This man is the ultimate. And the really sad part about it, Donnie. Now, I'm not trying to diss people's religion and stuff like that, but the real core fact of it is that he is a Christian and he was denied his own heritage as an African American. If he's claiming to be African American, he was denied that the right. And now he's a Christian. It was the Christians that denied him that right, obviously. And now he's preaching it. This is the most embarrassing type of capitulation on earth. Yo, this is scary. And I'm not talking about scary like I'm scared of you personally. I'm talking about scary like, damn, protect people's minds, yo. Like, folks got to protect people's minds, man. This is too much, man. All right, so he's an Islamophobe. Assalamu alaikum to all my Muslim brothers out there. All the atheists. Hey, what the? Hold on. Inflammatory anti-atheist. Okay, he's an anti. Hey, all the atheists out there, Semites and whoever else. Look, this is bizarre. I don't even want to know. Look, this is a shame. He from Greensboro, North Carolina. I mean, this has slavery written all over it, bro. Like straight up, like the roots. This is what happens, man. This is what happens when you. This is a fact right here. This is a fact. This man is a fact, a living fact. This is what happens when you don't have reparations. This is what happens. This is what happens when a people are oppressed, put in change for centuries, and never have any reparations. They lose their goddamn mind, bro. That's what this is. This is the ultimate victim out to victimize somebody else now. But this is the ultimate victim, bro. This is sad. This is not cool at all, man. Because largely for me, how I see this is that it's sad. It's sad ultimately because it would be some victory in, freeing your mind. You know what I'm saying? There will be some victory. I'm not saying we don't need reparations. Absolutely, we should have reparations. We need reparations. It's what is done normally on this earth when you commit these types of crimes. Reparations is the standard. It's the standard. It's the answer. It's when you commit a crime like that, crime against humanity, you pay reparations. Slavery for African Americans, that's what that's called, a crime against humanity, and one of the worst that ever existed. Now, that's been documented now, but to hear that this man brain is this screwed up, like this screwed up, this is so sad, man. And I think when your brain gets scrambled like this, in the end, you're going to do something crazy, man. But let me just read a little bit more. Oh my God. Woo! Look at this. Attributed the beginning of his interest in American conservative politics to to his reading of the book Rush Limbaugh. Oh man, we was talking about this before, reading comprehension. You can read stuff and sometimes not get what you're even reading, the depth of it, how crazy it is, silly what one is reading, and that happened with Dr. York. People read a lot of Dr. York shit. Could everybody figure out in time that Dr. York, a lot of that stuff he wrote was crazy, sickening, ridiculous? No. Some people ate it right up. Some people could, like myself. I read one of the books I read is the one, I forget the name of it, but it had the 13 dragon heads on it, and from the Holy Tabernacle Ministries, and I read that book and I had to stop it. I stopped because I was like, yo, this shit ain't adding up. Something is not right with this dude. Like, he's making up things, he's mixing up things, it just wasn't making sense. So I was able to see through it, and that's in my 20s, right? I'm 54 now. Damn, I'm almost forgetting. So that's 30 years ago, Um, and this man's talking about reading Rush Limbaugh and shit. It's like, God damn, you Rush Limbaugh is how you became a conservative? Damn. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. In any case, let's go back and hear more of what this man said. This is crazy. He's got a lot of stuff out there, bro. Let me see here. I want to get back. I don't want to play too much of the Turks, but he's going to say some real lunatic stuff here.
Nominee Mark Robinson gave a shocking campaign speech at a church this week, calling for the killing of an array of American/conservative foes. Let's hear some more of his speech before we move on.
Some liberal somewhere is going to say that sounds awful. Too bad. Get mad at me if you want to. Some folks need killing. It's time for somebody to say it. It's not a matter of vengeance. It's not a matter of being mean or spiteful. It's a matter of necessity. We have wicked people doing wicked things, torturing and murdering and raping. It's time to call out those guys in green and go have them handled.
Yo, this guy put himself up on the chopping block for somebody else, for foolishness. Let me just bring this back a little bit. Hold on, man. This dude, He's up there. Okay, well, just to check that out. Let me see here. Dang, I don't understand this.
Foes. Let's hear some more of his speech before we move on.
Some liberal somewhere is going to say that sounds awful. Too bad. Get mad at me if you want to. Some folks need killing. It's time for somebody to say it. It's not a matter of vengeance. It's not a
He said it's not a matter of vengeance.
matter of being mean or spiteful.
It's not a matter of being mean or spiteful. Okay?
It's a matter of necessity. We have wicked people doing wicked things, torturing and murdering and raping. Time to call out those.
Yo, don't we already? He's talking about we have people doing wicked things, torturing, murdering, raping. What's the jails for? What's the prisons for? What's the court system for? What's the police for? I mean, what is he asking? What more do he want? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. You know? Yeah, that background is wild off the top. He got a cross, universal cross all over America. You know, I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina. My ancestors were slaves, and guess what? I want to deny you your religion. I want to deny who you are. I don't want to be about who I am. I'm not happy I had the right to be me. No, I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy I'm thriving being me in my Christian congregation. No, that's not good enough. I want to deny you. This is crazy, man. Bossed up and butt or just plump fool. He is a plump fool, bro. He drunk. Oh, man. Yo, we got to have this conversation. AJ, man. If you look at me, I'm pretty much a conservative, right? But I ain't conservative like that. I'm not conservative like this. What are you talking? I am live and let be conservative. Cross the line with me, conservative. You see what I mean? That kind of thing. I believe you. Hey, you want to practice your religion? You do that. Do that. You practice your religion, man. Do that, and I hope it works out for you. Because I believe if there's something wrong with it, it's going to harm you anyway. Why? I don't have to stop you from practicing your religion. If you like eating some poison for breakfast every day, hey, now I'm going to talk about it, but I'm not going to kill you to stop you from eating the poison. I'm just going to try to reason with you and show you even more than reason with you. I'm going to try to show you how I live might be a little better. You see what I mean? And if you choose the way, some of the things from the way I live, fantastic. If you don't, fantastic. Live and let be. This man, he's making it seem like somebody, I don't get it, man. This guy, next thing you know, he's going to be saying, and by the way, you're going to have to put on 200 more pounds like me, or I'm going to kill you. Look at this, man.
Guys in green. Go have them handled. We have wicked people doing wicked things, torturing and murdering and raping.
He's saying that the police not enough. The court's not enough. The law is not enough. The prison system's not enough. We need the boys in green to go out there and handle
it. Not a matter of being mean or spiteful. It's a matter of necessity. We have wicked people doing wicked things, torturing and murdering and raping. It's time to call out those guys in green. Go have them handled. Or those boys in blue, and have them go handle it. We need to start handling our business again.
What the hell he talking about? Who ain't they handling this? What is he talking? See, this is where they start getting in code word. He's not really talking about those people. He's talking about, guess who he's talking about? He's talking about Jews, Muslims, LGBT. That's who he wants, the boys in blues to go out. Yo, do you know? I'm sorry, but I got a whole lot of Muslim friends. I grew up with a whole lot of Muslim friends. I grew up with some Jewish friends too. A lot of them. I mean, they may not. I don't know any that went to the synagogue or what. We don't talk about religion. What are they talking about? We don't talk about religion. What's there to talk about? You have yours, I have mine. We don't grow up talking about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. It's code word. He don't want to tell you. He's anti all these things, and he's also talking about atheists. But he's trying to codify it and make it sound like he want to go out and kill the rapists, the Muslims. Oh no, what did he say here? He said the rapists, let's play it back.
Too bad. Get mad at me if you want to. Some folks need killing.
That is the dumbest.
Time for somebody to say it.
That's the realest statement right there. That's that one right there. Some folks need killing. Huh. Oh, really? Yo, what the hell? That's the wow, man. This man, he is like a poet with words. This is the this dude is highly not poetic. He do not have a way with words at all. He do not have a way with words. I mean, I am losing my mind here watching this shit. Thank you for letting me find this old YouTube. Whoever is at the top. Oh, damn, that's another story. But thank you. Because now we have something to point a finger at. Look at this crap.
It's not a matter of vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a matter of being mean or spiteful. It's a matter of necessity.
It's a matter of necessity because they're going to take his pork chop if we don't. You know what I'm saying?
We have wicked people doing wicked things, torturing and murdering and raping. It's time to call out those guys in green and go have them handle it.
Mm-hmm, Donnie.
Those boys in blue and have them go handle it. We need to start handling our business again. The further away we get from the concept of 1776 and why we declared our independence and how we declared our independence, the further we start sliding into making 1776 a distant memory.
All right.
Look, they're double talking. This is double talk. Look, they talking about 1776, and we made this, this, what did he say? Because I don't like misquoting, but let's just bring this back. This is double talk because on one hand, he's going to make the statement like that, but on the other hand, you're going to find out he believed all kinds of conspiracy theories about the founders too. You see what I mean? And he's talking about we. You can't have it both ways. You either think that those founders were part of some Illuminati, some Kabbalah, or you don't. Like, what is this? This is crazy. This is why these people become erratic, because how they process information, how they comprehend information, it pushes them over the edge. And this dude is going to push other people over the edge. And look who's in that congregation. Look who he's going to push over the edge. White folk. That's who it is. That's who it is, man. He is only feeding to their bigotry that they grew up with, living in their small little circles, man. That's all he's catering to. It's easy to win when you cater to people's most innate ignorances. It's hold on, let's listen.
Except the 1772 and have them go handle it. We need to start handling our business again. The further away we get from the concept of 1776 and why we declared our independence and how we declared our independence.
You see that? You see? So I'm not really getting, I'm not, it creates a contradiction. It creates a problem mentally for folks, because they have to try to force something to be the way they want to see it. And, he's talking about getting away. Well, let's talk about getting away. We was trying to get away from kings and queens. Not we, but the white people. They were trying to get away from kings and queens. That's what they was trying to do. They were trying to get away from the church. That's what establishing that independence was about specifically. You see? And this fool is out there trying to every other thing he says, look, let's bring this back up and tell me, is this not a contradiction to that? This guy, you see this? Far right conspiracy theories, engage Holocaust denial, anti Semitism, racist, anti atheist. He's an anti atheist? Oh, that's interesting. Islamophobic. You see? When you really look at the details, it doesn't add up with the founding of America and independence of the United States from Britain. Um, you know, the colonies declaring independence and what they asserted. Donald Trump, you know, is another one that seems to support this type of rhetoric. It's too simple. It's too narrow-minded. Hold on. Let me read some of these comments here. Let's see here. Nah, BB. He want the military. He passed the boys in blue. Yeah, I think he wants the military to do it. Oh, I was wrong. I thought I said something. Okay, hold on. No. You're going to summon the good brother to. Oh man, I'm not summoning him. That's it, man. And that's another example. If you have freedom to speak freely, as others do, the same right, the same beliefs, you can't get mad at that. You can't get mad at that. But when you try to push your beliefs on others, people can get mad about that. And when you basically underhanded in how you push your beliefs too, this is very ridiculous. It's not funny, but it's funny. It's sad, man. This is really, really sad. This is really, really sad. But let me play some more of this guy's stuff, man. It's not good for your brain to do what these people do, because it shows that they don't really understand some of the things that they're reading, not in a fine way. Not in a fine way. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody has the freedom to be conservative. You have the freedom to not be gay. You have if you choose, or to not live a gay lifestyle. You have the freedom to not live amongst the blacks. You have the freedom to not live among the whites. I mean, you have that freedom. You don't have to shake their hand when you walk down the street. Nobody's telling you to go up and kiss them and say hello. Hello. I love you. Nobody's forcing you to do that. There's no law that makes you do that. But nobody's telling you to go up to a gay person and say, hey, I love you. Come home with me. Come and have dinner with me. Nobody's forcing you to do that. Nobody's forcing you to have an abortion. Nobody's forcing you. Nobody's forcing you. Nobody's forcing your daughter. But these people seem to have a problem with understanding the rights that they have and how they have been given rights, how they acquired certain rights. They don't seem to understand it, which means they have a poor understanding of history. American history is screwed up and fucked up as it has been. They don't really have a real understanding. They have not wrapped their heads completely around the history of the country they live in. That's pathetic. But again, Poor school systems. Everybody don't have the right to go to school. Everybody don't have the right. You have to pay. See, this is what I'm talking about. You get stuff like this when you have a school system that's making people pay all kinds of money to attend. This is just so sad. This is so sad. This is a man. He's a big man. He's at the pulpit. He's running for governor. He's against other people's rights while he has rights to be himself. He don't even know the damn country that he's talking about. And he's claiming to be American. This man doesn't know the history of his own goddamn country. You know, this is ridiculous, yo. This is sad. This is sad. See, what they did to bring the Union together was they said, you know what? To make the states to get past the Civil War, is they said, you know what? We're going to make the Electoral College. So even minorities, excluding black folk, he left that part out. This big old man, he left that big old fact out. They made the Electoral College so that minorities felt like they could still invest in the idea of the United States of America, so that you couldn't just kill them off. This fool forgot that part. That's the whole point. That's the complexity of the debate behind, do you remove the Electoral College or do you not? Because on one hand, the Electoral College protects minorities. Minorities, by the way, like him. He's a minority. And he's not just a minority, he's a double, triple minority, because check this out. He's also a minority because he's a right winger. That's a minority. If it was one man, one vote, he would lose that vote overnight, just like they lost their vote with the Electoral College, even protecting their minority asses. You see the contradiction in what these folks are talking about? You go down the line of what this dude is going down, they will get their asses kicked. Definitely. They will. They do not know the history of their own country. And listen, just because you go throw up a flag doesn't mean you know a goddamn thing about that country. Just the same way as you go throw up your cross doesn't mean you know a goddamn thing about the cross. Right? Does it mean that? It doesn't mean that. We find out plenty of times that people don't know the history of the cross. You know, the very symbol that they holding up. I'm not forcing you to hold that symbol up. I'm not saying you can't hold that symbol up. I'm just saying you find out that a lot of these erratic extremists don't know jack shit about nothing. Nothing. They just grabbing on to stuff, claiming to know it. Just like he's grabbing on to what it is to be an American and confusing the hell out of people, getting the whole history wrong. You know, let's play some more.
The further we start sliding to make it 1776 a distant memory.
All right. So Robinson's rant about killing people was delivered at Lake Church in the small town of White Lake, North Carolina. It was first reported by Greg Sargent at the New Republic. The speech was part of a God and Country Sunday event that is still on the church's Facebook page.
God and country. God and country. God and country is just another word for saying I'm dumb as hell. And that's the only thing I could think of. God and country. Woohoo! I done said a whole lot now. I'm for God and country. Oh, really? I'm for God and country, but I want to pollute God and country. I want chemicals pouring out in the water. I want the Anacostia River dirty as hell so you can't even swim in it. Yes, I want the nation's capital river that all kinds of minorities lived on, could have been enjoying fishing, could have been enjoying swimming in it like everybody else. No, I want it polluted by the corporations because I'm against green energy. I'm against cleaning up toxic chemicals from the corporation. I'm against that. I mean, these people make no goddamn sense at all. Make no sense at all. This dude, oh my goodness.
According to Sargent, here's what he had to say. Robinson's speech was yet another example of an ugly game widely played on the MAGA right, one supercharged by Donald Trump, hinting that right-wing political violence is necessary and justified because a ubiquitous, all-seeing, all-powerful leftist threat, one that is pure invention, is already supposedly attacking and persecuting conservatives on a mass scale. So yeah, it's all very much an invention, as we heard, and it kind of ties in with the last story that we were talking about too, with the Heritage Foundation, where he was telling his very right-wing listeners that the radical left is out for actual blood. And we all know that the best defense is offense. So now they're talking about killing liberals. So what does this mean for all of us as a nation? Cenk, let's start with you.
So I knew the number one excuse that
look, they having a hard time dealing with non-extremely. They're having a hard time. The right is having a hard time dealing with ideas that are not extremely narrow and basic. This is like their reasoning and rationale is like fifth grader reasoning and rationale. You see, let me give you an example. I'm American myself. My family came to the country at its conception and before. Right? So it's not a faking type of thing. It's not, I can't be somebody else. You see what I'm saying? But what makes diversity work and this liberal thing work, it's not because it's a perfect thing. It's not because it's a perfect thing. It's because the most people get what they want out of it. You get what you want out of it. I get what I want out of it. And we can all go home and function. We can function better. That's what makes it work. I don't have to like, the fact that one of these people might have a different religion than me for me to still want the same thing. Clean water. Equal and fair housing, education that doesn't cost an arm and a leg that I have to be in debt to for the rest of my life just because I endeavored to improve my country through having an education in my communities. You see what I mean? Like, you don't have to be somebody else to allow someone else to be and have an agreement that they let you be. And support you and your being as well. That's all this is about. And most people want the same things if you focus on them. So MAGA, instead of focusing on the broke ass white people living in shanty towns in America, instead of focusing on that and saying, hey, you know what? Why don't you want equal rights too, you broke asses? Why don't you want that? Why don't you, instead of doing that, they point the finger at everybody else so they don't have to provide nothing for these broke ass white people in America. If you ask me, that's what's going on. They point a finger at everybody else who's live and let be. And live and let be means let me be. It really means that. Right? But it goes both ways. They don't have any type of concept about that. You see, you don't have to, just because you let somebody else have their own religion or let somebody else have their own choice about who they love or marry or their ethnicity, you're being allowed that same thing. How could you be against it? See, this is why it doesn't make any sense. Not only that, they mangle American history. They mangle it. American history is It has some beautiful parts, but it is full of bloodshed. It is full of slavery. And these fools mangle all of it. They mangle all of it every chance that they get. Every chance that they get. Now they want to claim it. The founding fathers, the founding fathers, well, we were going back to independence, 17, blah, blah, blah. No, they've been spreading Illuminati, the founding fathers, the whole time. Yo, that's what and I'm not arguing against all of these concepts. I'm just saying, stick to one. Stop mangling it. Stop saying you about one thing and then making contradictory comments. That's the thing I don't get, and this man has done that. But let's go listen to some more silly stuff that this man has. Yeah, this dude, man, this is just way out there. Let me go back here, man. There's another one. He's out here preaching to his sermon. That was preaching to his audience. That particular one, he was in church, apparently in his church preaching. But it's not the only one. Now, here we go. Let's check. Now, this is 2 years ago. This is not as recent as before. This is not as recent as before this comment, these statements, but let's play them. Hold on, let me read. Let me see here. America is just a concept. It is. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, for real, because the truth of the matter is that we live in the part of America that's called USA. It's a damn continent that they named it a continent. It's been named by visitors. It's been named by Europeans, essentially. You could say European, people from the European continent. I'm not saying what their race is or their religion is or their background is and all of that stuff and their family history. But yeah, somebody named Amerigo Vespucci discovered, quote unquote, for those people over there, discovered, right? Because other people already discovered, and they named it and they found it. They put that name on everybody, and so we use that name today, and we know that's the history of the world. We know that's how people roll on Earth. People are doing that all the time, they do it in Africa. One group of people, find a place, and the next thing you know, they speak in a new language. They got a new religion. They got a new history. Even somebody supplants the old history and destroys it and then replaces it with their history. These kind of things. So we want to avoid that. Let's just be real about what the history is and be real about the consequences of history. It's so shameful when I hear this kind of talk, man. I told I told Ralph the other day. I think was it yesterday. I know plenty of people that hate the United States of America. But the thing about it is that, and they know my stance. And my stance is not that. I don't hate the United States of America. Hell no. And here's the reason why. Because the history of man is ugly. And a lot of the people that don't like how the United States of America moves globally, if given the chance, would do the same damn thing. That's my estimation of it, sadly enough. And I'm not saying it's perfect. Maybe some of the things they would do is good. Maybe some of the things would do is bad. But ultimately, I see it as a fight over power. You see what I mean? But yeah, I don't care if somebody has an opinion. My whole thing is like, stand on it. Don't be a hypocrite about it. You see what I mean? You can go to battle against people and respect somebody at the same time. You see, that's the thing about it. It doesn't always have to come down to all these other things where you have to make up shit about people and stuff like that. That's the problem right there. You see, when we try to make up things, when we try to rewrite things, that's the problem I have ultimately, when it comes to respecting people or not respecting them. I don't mind anybody. I can sit down and have a discussion with anybody as long as you're being real about it. You see what I mean? and being real about the history. I can sit down with a Jewish person and they can acknowledge that they had that Sephardic Jews, for example, contributed to the caliphate, were part of the caliphates. Yes, the Muslim caliphates, they were part of it too. You see what I mean? I can talk to a Muslim and they can admit, yes, we were a part of the christening of America. Yes, I can talk to Muslims about that. See, when you don't want to be real, then there's going to be a problem. You see what I'm saying? Then there's going to be a problem. And that's the problem I have. It's not the other things. Everybody have a background. People don't choose their backgrounds. You don't choose where you're born. You don't choose the body you were born in. You don't choose none of that stuff. But you do choose to be honest. You can choose that, or dishonest. But hold on.
Comments are raising a lot of eyebrows today. Excerpts from a sermon he gave at Charlotte-based Freedom House Church from last month are going viral. In it, he says God calls on men to lead, not women. Take a listen.
We're called to be the Christians that God has called us to be. And we are called to, here we're getting ready to get in trouble, called to be led by men. God sent women out when he was supposed to do, when they had to do that thing. But when it was time to face down Goliath, sent David, not Devita, David. When it was time to lead the Israelites out of Israel, he sent Moses. Not Mama Moses, Daddy Moses.
Robinson has not responded to requests from the media.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And now he's quoting, that for him, that's history, That's as deep as he goes with history. You see, had he known some African history, he would know that God also sent some women, duh. Jesus, man, these guys, and now he got me saying the word, but damn, look at that. You see how warped that is? You see how warped it is? It's just sickening, man. It is sickening. Let me just roll that back, man. This is just too damn much.
Republicans in North Carolina have nominated a Holocaust.
North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson's controversial comments are raising a lot of eyebrows today. Excerpts from a sermon he gave at Charlotte-based Freedom House Church from last month are going viral. In it, he says God calls on men to lead, not women. Take a listen.
We're called to be the Christians that God has called us to be. And we are called to, here we're getting ready to get in trouble, called to be led by men. God sent women out when he was supposed to do, when they had to do that thing. But when it was time to face down Goliath, sent David.
He's African American. He's the victim of a religious Holocaust where it was okay to enslave, murder, and kill African people who were polytheist, who come from religions and backgrounds where women could also be a god, where a woman could also roll the bones and make a decision. You see how warped this is? Damn, man. Damn. And he's going to force. He's out there telling you I'm sorry, but his big ass is out there on the stage waddling around talking about he going to force you. He's going to force you. He's going to force it back on you. A double genocide. A double Holocaust. That's what this man got the nerve to say. He's got the nerve to say it. Needless to say, some other people have an opinion, and that is...
Good. Shut the fuck up.
Yes, exactly. How about that? You see, um, we could start off with that one because, sorry, bro, it ain't happening. It's not happening. Waddle your ass back off the pulpit and hit the gym or the hospital, whichever one. The go get to the cosmetic surgery part before your back fall out. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something, but stop pointing the finger at other people that just want to live. You know, and let be. You know, this is some nutty. Black folk have to see this for what it is. Christian is it? It is, brother. It's plain to see. It's so plain to see, man. And it is to see a black man saying this shit. Yo, damn. I could understand it if you lived in a country where you were forced. Where you were forced. Because we did, and we have experienced that. But this man is living in a country where he's free to choose what he wants for himself. And this the best he got. Damn, I should move down there and just run for governor. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to say, I got a much stronger handle on American history than this fool. You see what I'm saying? And I have to say, I have to also question, damn, man, you came out of public school, you came out of school and came out dumb like this? Like, damn. I really want to see the man's reading comprehension. You know, when you go to school and you get graded in reading comprehension, you get, not graded, but you get a high mark or a low mark. They let you know. I forget what test they do that on, but they should do it regularly so you have a sense of how well you understand the information you read. I would really like to know how well he understood that shit in school, or was it just like memory and here's the answer, check. Here's the answer, I don't know, but this is very, very, very weird. Um, Needless to say, uh, he can kiss my ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, with this kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do not go for it at all. Period. You know what I'm saying? And it's so sad. It's so sad. But let's hear some more of this big old man's stuff. And I'm sorry, y'all. I know it's not about him being big, but you see him. I mean, he's bringing it out. He's bringing it out in people. Hold on, let's see.
Thank you all for being here tonight. We appreciate you. And as always, we give thanks to Jesus Christ, giving us our life and our health and our strength, allowing us to live in such a blessed and prosperous land. Well, guys, tonight is the culmination of a lot of doggone hard work.
Yo, but let's be factual. He's wrong because it's not Jesus Christ that gave him the right. What you see how silly this is? He, on one hand, he want to talk about the founding fathers and even get their story all wrong, even get that independence, like there wasn't bloodshed, like people didn't fight for that right. Now he giving all the glory to Jesus. What the hell? What about Crispus Attucks? You damn fool. He died. You see what I'm saying? What about all the black folk that died for that country, for that right? You just going to give it all to Jesus, huh? Just going to imagine it all the way. The same one that denied them their right to their culture, their language, their God. This motherfucker, man, this dude.
Anyway. Hard work and commitment, not just by me and my team and our campaign staff, but by a whole
And he did not read the Constitution because the Constitution doesn't say anything like what he just said. It's separation of church and religion and state. It's separation. You see, this man, he don't even get it. He don't even get his contradictions with the founding of the country and the differences and how they said, we don't want no king And we don't want no religious institution running us. We want it to be for different. You could be a Muslim, you could be a Jew, you could be a Christian, you could be any type you want. You could be an atheist, you could be a bone thrower, for all I care. It's like, what the hell?
Cadre of people across the state who believe in us, believe in our message, believe in our vision, and want to see North Carolina go in the right direction, and did the hard work it took to get through this primary. So,
and by the way, y'all, the same thing with that his mistake is that it's the same thing about the electoral college being made to allow the minority to have a place to say, even though you don't agree, even though we disagree with you, we're not going to just totally take you out of having a say or a word in politics. So therefore, we created something called the electoral college, so you can know you do have a place still. You do have a voice in this democracy. Our majority voice is not going to shut your sick, hateful ass voice completely and utterly down. It's the same thing with the religion, the same compromise they had to make about religion. Otherwise, people would still be killing each other in the United States of America. Today, there wouldn't be no United States of America without compromise. This fool don't get it. He don't know the history. Because they were literally killing people. Not just Indians, but other people too. If you didn't share, they was killing women. You can't have a religious thought, woman. Let me burn your ass at the stake. That's what they was against. And this fool is like, man, they were against religious extremists. Even if some of them had some weird ideas and kooky ideas themselves, this guy defies all logic. What's up, RP?
So thank you, each and every one of you. We were able to withstand withering attacks from our opponents, all of which were.
And I'm sad, but this is American. This is when we talk about white identified, I'm talking about white American identified, and extreme white one identified. Like, this guy is like Dixie. He's Dixie. I don't even know why he got that flag up behind him, because he don't even understand the flag. I'm not saying the flag is perfect now, but he don't even understand that damn flag. I'm really, this is shocking. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I hear this one, I hear Redman's song, and then I slap the shit. What's that song? I slap the shit out you. That's what I hear. Somebody need to slap this fool, like, really.
We're baseless, and we firmly stand by what we believe in, who we are, and our story. Because our story is a great story. Our story is a story that's deeply rooted in North Carolina. It is the story of North Carolina. A story of being the underdog, a story of being the person who had to come back, the person who
Look, he talking about North Carolina. I bet you he about to say some anti-North Carolina shit now. Something that's contrary from the history in North Carolina. I bet he gonna start talking about immigrants, and Caribbean folk. I bet he's gonna start doing that. I bet he's gonna start talking about these folks, even though these folks been brought to the United States of America as slaves too, from the Caribbean. He's going to defy all of this shit. You see, it's like he's going to go there. This man is going to go there. It's just a bet.
Who had to overcome.
I bet you $10.
Some obstacles to see a better day, just like North Carolina herself. You all know my story. Number 9 of 10 children, growing up in an extremely poor household. I'm looking at my brothers out here. I've got brothers out here in the audience, and I'm looking at them. I've got guys out here that are not my blood brothers, but are practically my spiritual brothers that have been through the same things that I've been through.
Tiki Torch.
They've seen the days of poverty. They've seen the days of hunger. They've seen the days of struggle. But like North Carolina herself, we've risen past that to see a better day. And we stand here on this stage now, ready to move forward into that better day. And I would be remiss right now if I did not give credit to the person I believe who is most responsible for my success.
Is he about to say Jesus Christ? That's what I want to know.
Other than my beautiful wife, Yolanda, who's standing here on the stage with me.
Whoa. Whoa. He wouldn't be there if it wasn't for his beautiful wife. Didn't he just say something? Wait a second. Hold on.
North Carolina.
Hold on. He defied that statement just earlier. I'm sorry. I got to do this. He said something else. Here it is.
In our workspace.
Hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. This man said something else. He giving his wife credit. Here we go. Let's listen.
You know, it was a time when we used to meet evil on the battlefield, and guess what we did to it? We killed it. We didn't quibble about it. We didn't argue about it. We didn't fight about it. We killed it. When the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, what did we do? We flew to Japan. And we killed the Japanese Army and Navy. We didn't even quibble about it. I didn't start this fight. You did.
All right. So North Carolina Lieutenant Governor and current GOP governor nominee Mark Robinson gave a...
Some liberal somewhere is going to say that sounds awful. Too bad. Get mad at me.
Speech at a conservative...
Somewhere is going to say that sounds awful. Too bad. Get mad at me if you want to. Some folks need killing. It's time for somebody to say it. It's not a matter of vengeance. It's not a matter of being mean or spiteful. It's a matter of necessity. We have wicked people doing wicked things, torturing and murdering and raping. It's time to call out those guys in green and go have them handled. Or those boys in blue and have them go handle it. We need to start handling our business again. The further away we get from the concept of 1776 and why we declared our independence and how we declared our independence, the further we start sliding into making 1776 a distant memory.
All right. So Robinson's rant about killing people, I have to say. Robinson's speech was yet another example of an ugly game widely played on the MAGA right.
Hold on. It wasn't that one. It was this one.
Now, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson's controversial comments are raising a lot of eyebrows today. Excerpts from a sermon he gave at Charlotte-based Freedom House Church from last month are going viral. In it, he says God calls on men to lead, not women. Take a look.
You hear that? He's giving credit. Now, it couldn't have been done without his wife. But on the other hand,
Listen.
We're called to be the Christians that God has called us to be. And we are called to, here we're getting ready to get in trouble, called to be led by men. God sent women out when he was supposed to do, when they had to do that thing. But when it was time to face down Goliath.
I bet you if you try to take his pork chop from him, you're going to have a problem. I tell you that much.
Sent David, not DeVita, David.
Look, this is how he talking to the woman that he just praised.
Credit to the person I believe who is most responsible for my success. Other than my beautiful wife, Yolanda, who's standing here on the stage with me.
Now, remember, Yolanda, God ain't calling on you. He called on David. You remember that? Look at this. See, he going to come. Look, if you know, anybody that approaches people that they don't agree with the way that he does, you know, eventually he gonna get around to getting to his lady like that too. When he does a disagreement with her, also, eventually it's going to come because it's unreasonable. It's ridiculous. You don't have to deal with people the way this man is talking. That's not how you deal with problems. You can deal with issues in a respectful manner that pretty much everybody can understand. Everybody can understand issues about immigration. You don't have to say kill them. Everybody can understand differences in how you grow up, or your what you think is normal, what others think is not normal, but you can't kill them. So when you have a disagreement with your wife, what you gonna do? Kill her? That's gonna be the answer? Yo, this man.
The woman who I credit with making me the man that I am is my mother, Eva Mae Robinson. A woman who was...
Look, he done popped out his mother, but she's second. Or dropped out. Either one. I don't know. This, you see this? You see that? Mama, you ain't a leader, mama. That's what, dude. Oh my God. This man is out there, boy. I don't get it, man. I don't get extra biscuits. Yeah, give me that pork chop. Leave the fat on the side. Also, goddamn it, because I might have to chop your arm off if you cut that fat off. And an extra biscuit, Your Honor. And who brought him that biscuit? Who brought him that pork chop? Jesus. I bet you he's going to say did he thank Jesus for that, though? Hell no.
Left in 1979 with 5 children in her house. And she had a choice between welfare and work, and she chose work. And she worked her fingers to the bone to take care of her children and set a standard in her life. I would not be standing here right now if it was not for her. In fact, I am standing on her shoulders right this moment. I stand on the shoulders of my mother and all of those who came before me, who laid the groundwork that made it possible for me to stand here as the first black lieutenant governor and possibly the first black governor of North Carolina. Now, I'll tell you this, right in this general election, we're not going to allow these folks to drag this campaign.
I mean, so what's the problem with her leading then? That's the thing about it. If she could show the ability to make decisions herself, stand up, take care of her kids, even though she got 5. Was there a daddy? I don't know. Did he mention a daddy? I didn't hear it. But why can't she lead then? Her leadership abilities was good enough to pop your big ass out and have you up on the podium. You're a success, right? I don't get it. It's a total contradiction. It's a total contradiction. And this man would sit up there and read a book and then just be like, well, mama, after all them years, I'm sorry, mama, but you got to be number 2. You can't lead. God said men should lead.
Into the mud. Those who want to go into the mud, feel free. Where we're going is we're going towards the substantive issues that all North Carolinians face. The things that will make North Carolina great, that will take her to her next level of success. What are those things? Those are those important things. Education and our economy. Those are the things we're going to focus on. When it comes to our economy here in North Carolina, my vision is to see to it now that we've come out of the economic doldrums of 2010 and prior, where we were $3.4 billion in debt to the federal government and we're furloughing state workers and teachers didn't get a raise for 6 years, to now a day where we see through Republican leadership that we now have a $5 billion surplus. We're giving teachers a raise with raises, state troopers raises. Everybody wants to come here and do business. We're the #1 business destination 2 years running. But I would submit to you now the vision, the call, the mission is to grow this state, to grow its economy, as we like to say, from Murphy to Manio, so that every part of the state has economic opportunity. I believe the way that we do that and sustain that is by having a great education system and making reformations in our education system, removing agendas from the classroom and getting back to classical education, reading, writing, and mathematics, civics, history, and all those things that teach our children how to be great citizens of this constitutional republic, teaching them the values and giving them the skills they need so that they not only succeed inside of the
Look,
classroom.
but what are the values? See, that's where the trick comes in, because for him, he doesn't seem to tell you. I mean, I'm just saying this. I'm not saying you have to be a liberal, but liberals believe in mathematics. You know, liberals believe in those things that he's saying. So what's missing there is what he really want to do, the gist of it. What is it you want to do that somebody else is not doing? You know, so you want schools funded, right? We get that. So how much do teachers get in North Carolina? Let's see here. I mean, how much have they been getting? People can generally agree that teachers across the country should be paid more, right? But why do we have to pick and choose what teachers it is? Why can't that just be federally mandated, or to some degree? I'm not saying all of it, but why can't teachers get that support when they have a different ideal now, or a different damn, what's the word he used? I don't want to misconstrue his words. I'm sorry here. Let me just bring it back.
Of this constitutional republic, teaching them the values and
Values. Now, we know he doesn't mean teach real history of the United States of America. We know he doesn't mean that, because Republicans are against it. They don't want the fact that slavery was actually what it really was. Ball and chain, torture. He doesn't want that taught. You see what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So you see, it's the subtlety. He's talking things. He's lying to these motherfuckers. Excuse my language, but he's lying. He's flat out there lying. The only thing, the values that he's trying to teach is the anti-black ones, pretty much, or the anti-people values. They have an anti-black agenda. They don't want to teach the Holocaust, the Mafa Holocaust, as it really was for African Americans. They don't want to fund that in schools. They're against funding it in schools. So when he says values, you got to say, whose values, fool? Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, anybody that's against what's the word that they're using when they tried to teach this stuff? It was a new agenda. Let me see. It was critical race theory, against it. Values. You don't want to teach it? That's about values. That's about changing values. That's about reforming values. That's about meeting everybody where things are really right, that it's wrong. You know, that racism is wrong. Anti-black racism is wrong. You know, that's pretty much what it's about. And the history of anti-black racism in the country, he's not for that value. That's not what he's for. You see, this is that Project 2025. It is. It's totally it. We're seeing this is what it produced. He is the arm. He's one of the arms. You know, and these lunatics gonna start popping up everywhere, and we're gonna have to handle them everywhere. And again, just because somebody calls you a liberal doesn't mean liberals all agree on everything. It doesn't. It just means I don't run away from the word liberal. I don't agree with it, but I don't run away from the word diversity, especially when it comes to voting, right? And human rights and civil rights. But these fools, they don't seem to understand how they're a part of that diversity, how they're a part of that civil rights struggle. They don't seem to understand that people can become anti them also if they keep the kind of words going around and they keep the kind of rhetoric that this man has been spewing as of late. Is extremely troubling, you know, and should raise serious eyeballs, you know, eyebrows and eyeballs.
When we used to meet evil on the battlefield, and guess what we did to it? We killed it. We didn't quibble about it. We didn't argue about it. We didn't fight about it. We killed it. When the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, what do? We flew to Japan. And we killed the Japanese Army and Navy. We didn't even quibble about it. I didn't start this fight. You did.
All right. So North Carolina Lieutenant Governor and current GOP Governor.
Wait a second. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. This reminds me of Samuel Jackson, to be honest. It's got to be one of these, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere from this. It's got to be from Pulp Fiction. I didn't start this fight. You did. It's like he's imagining shit that ain't
Governor nominee Mark.
Quibble about it. We didn't argue about it. We didn't fight about it. We killed it. When the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, what do? We flew to Japan. And we killed the
Oh, I know what it is. It's Dave Chappelle's rendition of Samuel Jackson. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Japanese Army and Navy. We didn't even quibble about it. I didn't start this fight. You did.
All right. So
Look, this fool, I'm sorry, but if he thinks that the United States just went out there and bombed Japan, they didn't quibble on it, that is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous notion. They plotted and planned that event in detail. They took their time methodically. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? He acts like they just do that. Oh, somebody just woke up one day and said, we're going to kill it. You know, this is just something else. Anyway, let me drop the link here, man. Let's see what's going on. This is something else. God. Again, diversity can mean live and let live. Live and let be. You do your thing, I do mine. It doesn't mean control. It means you decide this here. You decide that if this is what works best for you here, this is what works. That's what it is. And these people are part of the damn diversity themselves. And they're a minority. MAGA is not a majority. It's a minority. Hence why they need the electoral college to win an election. Because they're a minority. You see, politically speaking, right? Most Americans do not want them to lead. That's why Donald Trump lost. And ironically enough, it's a lot of Americans that want to abolish the electoral college that are talking about it. When you hear liberals talking about it, they're talking about it to get rid of these fools out of the political sphere. So we don't have to be held back anymore by these fools. That's what it's about. And he don't even recognize it. They don't recognize. They're allowed to say and do anything they want at the pulpit. They can say anything. It doesn't have to stand up to any critique. It doesn't have to stand up to the facts. They're just allowed to imagine it over and over and over it again. So anybody who's reading comprehension skills, anyone who is pretty much unaware of something outside of their own neighborhood or town, all these people that live in these bubbles, in these narrow-minded spheres that just keep getting the same silly, simpleton messages broadcast to them over and over and over. These are the people they're appealing to. You know, they're not appealing to people of that actually do want to help their communities, do take an extra step to help their communities, have broadened their understanding because they have taken extra steps. You know, they don't appeal to them. They're not even trying to appeal to these folks. They're trying to appeal to folks that just, you know, been sitting there blaming others, getting support while blaming others the entire time. You know, it's really, really weird. Hey, Andrea, how you doing? Yeah, I stumbled across this man today. Literally, I did not know a damn thing about this fool. And he is serious. He's a serious piece of work. Um, yeah, I don't know if you want to go back and listen to the beginning of the broadcast, but for those of you that come to hear it later, there's some contradictions, and I give some commentary on the things this man said, and you need to consider some of my commentary, because this man shows that he doesn't understand how privileged he is. He's in a country where he has the right to be this goddamn dumb, this goddamn ignorant about his own country's history, and run for lieutenant governor. If that ain't the most privileged shit on earth, and yet he hates people. He hates, it is just, I can't fathom it at all. I cannot fathom it at all. And it's starting to make me wonder a little bit why the left is so lenient towards people like this. I mean, I understand the purpose. I understand the reasoning that it's not the best. It's not the tool that's going to get you the desired result. In my view, the left in America will eliminate, if they wanted to commit violence, if they believed in violence, they would eradicate these people overnight. That's my view of it, without a big effort even. And if they did dare come to some of these towns, they would get slaughtered. That's my view of it. But liberals don't believe in that. So they believe in another way of doing things, and that's reasoning. Reasoning has longer effects, possibly. It's a theory, because when I listen to how this dude talks, I'm starting to wonder myself, because there's been a lot of reasoning going on with Confederates in the history of the country. There's been a lot of reasoning, attempts to reason with these people, and you see now they've gotten so bold that they would dismantle the Constitution, as much protections as it don't have in it. The United States government in this Constitution, it doesn't have anything in it about poverty being illegal, the right to live poverty free. They don't guarantee you that right. Do you know that there's some constitutions around the world that do? Do you know that? Democratic constitutions. Do you know that? I'm not talking about Democratic Party. I'm talking about nations that vote. Do you know that? The United States ain't one of them. Yeah. Whew. Anyway, folks, I just wanted to chime in on that, on this. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments. If you didn't see the live, just leave your comments in the comment section. Be respectful, be factual. Also, if you know me, you've been following me, I'm not up for all of this sleight of hand when it comes to facts and things that are not facts. I'm not up to it. I'm also not up. I'm not big on the insinuation thing. And I'm very big on, when you're incorrect, just state it so we can move on. It's okay to be incorrect, because people learn stuff all the time. You cannot improve yourself if you cannot acknowledge when you're factually incorrect. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not asking anything special. I'm just asking for something reasonable. So when you leave your comments, feel free to leave them. Even if you support this kind of stuff, I'm up for the dialogue. But there is going to be a problem if you think you can just put your hands on somebody. If you think you can just kill people that have a different view from you, especially politically, and especially my view. My view is live and let live. I think I'm being very respectful when I choose live and let live. You see what I mean? I am a conservative in terms of how I do things, but I'm not a conservative like this fool. I'm not a MAGA conservative. I'm not a Republican conservative. You see what I'm saying? I don't believe in the things they believe in. I believe what they believe in is lunacy, uh, destructive to the country. And I believe they are so dumb that they don't realize that they choose a path of suicide themselves, and they're willing to bring other people down just because they're suicidal. You see what I mean? I don't believe that. I also don't believe that. I believe that as unfair as the United States has been to African Americans, we still need to be very savvy about our politics, and we need to not abandon politics, and not abandon reason. I think we can get anything we want with reason. I don't think African Americans are the people that have to prove anything to anybody how American we are. I think we proved that already. I think we're the most American, to be honest with you, if you want to go by who worked hardest. You see what I mean? For less. You see what I'm saying? So just leave your comments in a respectful way, and we can have a healthy debate. I appreciate y'all. Everybody be good. Thanks, RP, Andrea, Donnie, for coming out and supporting as usual. And I'm going to catch the rest of y'all on the replay. Peace. Yeah, what's up, B Buck in there? I see you out there.